Welcome to CS112 Infected Simulation Part 3. Alright, so this is going to be a continuation of Part 2 that we started last time, which is a continuation of Part 1, which started the time before that. So this is just a continuing thing. Make sure you've done those two before you do this one. So in the last two lessons, we've developed this NetLogo program that made healthy and infected turtles. Right now, no one gets sick from each other, but the infected turtles do heal themselves, so eventually do get healthy eventually. So that's pretty nice. We do know that if we're around people with an infection, that such as a cold or a virus of some sort, that we do have a chance of getting that virus. And this is called the percent virulence. And we're going to use this virulence in order to help us understand and help us kind of model an infection rate. So this should be from the warm-up, and you kind of like did this thing where we made a whole bunch of turtles. We made some patches that were red, and once the turtles landed on a patch that was red, then they would set themselves to be blue. We're going to use a similar idea, but we're going to actually go turtle to turtle. The way that we do that is we use the command turtles here. And what this is this reports who all is on the caller's patch. So you can think of it of a roll call in a classroom. They're in the class and they say, okay, who all is here? And they get a report of everyone who is here. You can also do this with breeds. We'll talk about breeds a little bit later, but do know that you can use different breeds, and that'll be a little keyword that you can cue on later. So we're going to develop what we did in assignment 9.2, and we're going to use this slider variable. It's going to be called percent virulence. Percent tells me I'm going from 0 to 100%, and this is the likelihood that a healthy creature is going to get sick from something else. We're also going to have to write an infecting procedure, and we're also going to use in the go command, and we're going to use the turtles here to give them that chance of making someone sick. So first thing that we need to do is we need to add our slider. All right. So in here, I'm going to go grab slider, and this doesn't show up. Let's do this. Percent virulence. Yeah. 0 to 100, going by 1. Sounds good to me. All right. All right, so the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to check, because if a turtle is infected, we're going to check if there's healthy turtles on the same patch as our sick turtles. If there are, then we're going to use our percent virulence in order to give them a shot at being sick. And since we already have the make infected procedure, we'll just use that as well. Kind of keeps our code a little bit clean. Oops, you guys aren't seeing this. So using our plan, this is going to be what our infecting is going to look like. So we're going to say if their infected value is more than 0, we're going to ask all the turtles here that have a value of infected equal to 0. So that way we can't, like you can, but in this version, we're not going to be able to infect turtles that are already infected. We're going to say, hey, if you have a value, if you are sick, if you're not sick, kind of roll a dice and see if you're going to become sick. And if you are, you're going to do make infected. All right, so let's go do this. So in my code, all right, to infecting. Okay, if infected is greater than 0, ask turtles here. That's a command. That's an inherent command. With, and then we got to provide the parameters that we want. Infected equal to 0. Hey, if you're here and you're not sick, then if they choose a random number, and the value that we're going to use is a slider, I know, that's this percent virulence. So if random percent, if random 100, there we go, is less than percent virulence, then they're going to do make infected. close that, close that, close that, and end. All right, right now it's not going to work because we never call it anywhere. So let's go up to our go. And actually in here, it does make a difference where you put this infecting. Do you put it before the healing or do you put it after the healing? If you do it after the healing, then turtles could have healed themselves on the same move where they make everyone sick. Alternatively, if you do the infecting before the healing, they could make everyone sick before they're actually better. Now, a lot of times whenever you're on the last few days of being sick, you're actually not all that, like, you can't really transmit it. So we're going to say that infecting goes after healing. And that's just a very general statement. You know, that could be completely wrong. All right, so do a check. All right, cool, that works. Let's do a setup, and let's do a go, and we're going to see the turtles here. It's going to track the number 6. We're going to see a quick drop eventually, but we do see that it's rising up. Then we have a drop, and yeah, all right, we're going to get this like kind of continuing up, down, up, down, up, down motion. And this is with the 50% virulence. That's, you know, that's something's going really bad. Let's drop that down to 5. And we can see that it actually drops it quite a bit. I don't know if, yeah, it looks like they finally all got healthy. So, yeah, that's how that worked. All right. Let's switch. Yep, we did that. And we did that. Add your comments. This is what your program should more or less look like. Hopefully this was helpful.